Can you guys hear me okay? Anyone gives me a thumbs up? There's USA Triathlon. USA Triathlon, can you hear me? The audio okay? Others, thank you, Jen. Jen, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. There's a familiar face, Robin. Hey, Robin. And Tiffany. Tiffany, can you say something? I'm not sure I can hear you guys. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Tiffany, if you unmute yourself, maybe. Okay, yeah. Jen says everyone's muted. Maybe it's set where no one can unmute themselves, which is okay. All right, well, if everyone can hear me, that's fine. We'll start here in a couple minutes. I'm gonna have the chat box pulled up. So if anyone has a question, feel free to message in the chat, and I'll try to keep an eye on that. We've got some people hopping on. What if you can't use the microphone, feel free to message in the chat. Where do we have people tuning in from? I'm based here in Texas. Is anyone from other states up north, East Coast? Message the state in the chat. I'll read off who's here. Iowa, right on. My girlfriend's from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, so she'll appreciate that. Fort Lauderdale, right on. Arizona, sweet. My dad's from Tucson. Tallahassee, Florida. Cincinnati, cool. Got people from all over. San Diego. Tiffany from Texas. Alex from San Diego. Beatrice from San Antonio. Cool. So seed is shining seed, it sounds like. That's awesome. Has anyone gone to any of the other USAT webinars? I know we had a cycling one, there was a stretch cord one. Did anyone attend any of those? No. Jen said she hasn't gone to any of the others. This was her first one. Cool, well, welcome. It's my first one too. It's awesome. Tiffany said it's her first one. Cool. So a lot of people, it sounds like this is their first USAT workout webinar, which is great. Like I said, my first one as well, so I hope this goes well. Cool. Yeah, it sounds like they might be recorded, and maybe USA Triathlon will release them. We got a couple more, 2 more minutes. Very cool. So as we get started here in a minute, like I said, I'll keep an eye on my computer here. I'll kind of keep an eye on the chat. So if you have a question, I'll try to take a few little pauses. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. I'll try to watch that so that I can answer it audibly. I think everyone's on mute, and that's maybe you can't change that or anything like that, which is fine. But if you have a question, you're welcome to throw it up. I'm gonna put the chat screen on big for me, so I can see that. So feel free. We're a few of us you might see. Everybody's putting in where they're from. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas, down in the south. We've gotten some cold weather for us lately. It's been in the 40s in the morning, so pretty chilly. But I know others in the north. Maine. My coach actually lives in Maine, so he doesn't think anything is cold, basically. Any other states we have reporting? I know we had Iowa, Ohio, Florida, Arizona, California, Texas. Anyone from anywhere else? Feel free to message it in the chat. I'll read it out, see where we have people tuning in from. New York, Colorado. Oh, there's Harley. Awesome. More from Colorado. Kentucky. Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I think it's 11. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So like you saw, my name is Mark Saroni. I'm a level 1 triathlon coach here in San Antonio, Texas. I actually just took my level 2 certification course last week online. So hopefully that went well. Waiting for that certification. Been racing triathlon for a long time, since I was 12 years old. So kind of just grown up in the USA Triathlon since early 2000s, and really just love the sport. My goal for today is really we're doing kind of strength, core, yoga, but the goal for today is really to kind of do a few different routines that hopefully you all can take, and maybe you don't do this whole workout at once, but it's kind of broken into different routines so that you can do that on your own. Say you don't have 45 minutes, an hour to do a workout, but you can go, okay, well, I can do that short activation routine before my next run, or I can do that basic core sequence or a quick yoga flow. So that's kind of the idea with that. And if you have questions, you want me to send you these routines at the end, I'll share my email at the end. I think that's okay. So I'm happy to kind of help you, remind you what it is, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the goal. We have 4 or 5 different routines we're going to kind of chunk and do. So the goal is to get a good workout, but also have some tools that you can implement back at home. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Oh, also we just have more people coming in. Kentucky, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Long Island. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start. The first one is just the basic activation routine. I do it before most runs. I recommend my athletes do it. Everybody's got their Garmin. I'm gonna start my Garmin here. So what we're gonna do is just stand on one leg. Doesn't really matter what leg right now. The opposite leg is extended out, and we're just doing half squats. So you're gonna squat down, come back up. Pretty simple. The goal is that you don't ever put that foot down. So we're gonna do 5 on this leg. 3, 4, 5. So we're doing 5 on that leg. Then we're gonna go 5 out to the side. So again, I still haven't placed my leg on the ground yet. I'm gonna go 5 out to the side, just like that. 4, 5. I'm still staying on this one leg. Now I'm gonna go 5 behind me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So then we're gonna switch legs. On any of these routines, I should probably say for today, if there's something that it hurts or it tweaks your hip, obviously, I mean, everyone's probably an athlete already, so go ahead and stop You know, the goal is to obviously use these to stay injury free, not to cause injury. So if there's some sort of weird pain, just don't do that exercise, cut it out, that kind of thing. So now we're gonna go to the other leg. You're just switching sides, 5 of the same thing. The main goal of this is getting some of the synovial fluid in your joints to start working. So the hip, the knee, the ankles. I literally do this in my kitchen, holding my cup of coffee before I leave. And I'll just stand there and half asleep, do these little half squats kind of thing. And you can feel, today it's not as bad because I've already been up moving around, but a lot of times in the morning, I'll actually feel that you can feel that ankle, that thigh start just burning a little bit as it kind of turns those muscles on. So now we're going 5 to the side. Again, you can do it all with a cup of coffee if you need to. And then 5 behind. Okay, boom, first part. Can be done super fast. You can do 5, you can do 80 side, you can do 10 side if you want. I usually do kind of 5 to 8, sometimes 6, just whatever I'm feeling. So next, we're gonna just do basic lunges. We're gonna lunge forward for right now. Later on, we're gonna lunge backwards a little bit, but we're gonna lunge forward for now. And it's just simple lunges. Again, my goal with this is I do it before a run typically, and I can do most of it with a cup of coffee in my hand. So 10 to 12 lunges, 5 or 6 each side. If you want to add a little stretch with your arms, you're welcome to do that. Want to make sure we keep 90-degree angles here and here. About 10. We're going to turn back to the front. So now we're going sideways. You're doing a sideways lunge. Step to the side. I like to use my arm and elbow a little bit too. So kind of stretch that way. Going 5 to the side. And then on the other leg, we go 5 to the other side. Boom. And then last one is I call it like the curtsy dab. So you're actually gonna step. I'm gonna be stepping my right leg over. If you're watching me, you'll probably do your left. You want to mimic the motion. I'm gonna step my right leg over and then move my arms in the opposite direction. So it gets a little bit more hip mobility, but you also feel that glute have to grab a little bit as you go down into a squat position. It's kind of a sideways squat or lunge. As you bend, stretch out the hamstring a little in that hip joint. So I'll go about 5 or 6 on that side. And then switch.
Mark, I gotta stop you real quick. Those calves are looking great.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I should have worn. I didn't wear my yoga pants today, but normally I'd probably be in yoga pants.
Listen, I'm glad you didn't.
Okay, 5 to 6 on that side. So like I said, I mean that took us 4 minutes and 40 seconds. You can do it in 2 or 3 minutes super easily. So that's kind of the goal is, all right, there's a basic running activation routine you can do. Do that before you run. Take the 2 minutes. It helps a lot. All right. Okay, so that's kind of first one. Now we're going to go to a torso activation. All right. So torso activation, we're going to go into a plank position. Hands and knees here. But we're not just going to do a regular plank. We're going to extend the arm and leg out. All right. And you're just going to reach out and hold for a second. This one might be difficult. So you're going to do about 5 each side. Okay. Then we're going to do a side plank progression where you're going to just bridge up onto the side plank like so. If you can lift like this, do that, and then you're going to rotate to the other side without letting your hips stop. And you just do about 5 or 6 of those. each side, 5 or 6 each side, of course. And down. Let's fix this guy. So the goal of this, now we're starting to wake up the torso, right? We kind of did that lower half, the ankles a little bit. Now we're waking up the torso, the spinal column, our obliques. Again, it's primarily activation, though some of that stuff is pretty hard. It's primarily activation. We're gonna finish off with some hip bridges. So you're gonna lay on your back. Place your arms, I like to do arms palms up. You're just gonna push your hips up. Pretty basic exercise. Most of us have probably done it before. If you want, you can put a band around your knees, like a TheraBand, and then you have to apply a little bit of pressure. It activates the glutes a little bit better, those abductors, to kind of pull that tension against the band. I'm gonna bring one with me today. 10 each side, and then I like to do single leg as well. 10 total, and then I'll do 5 each side of the single leg. 4, 5. After this single leg, I like to get a little more of a hamstring stretch too, so I'll swing that leg out straight, and I'll just pump it up and down 5 times. That kind of stretches out the hamstring a little bit more. And then we'll straighten the other leg, do the glute bridges. 5 there. And then 5 pumps. The leg straight, stretching the hamstring. Okay. That's torso activation. Now we're activated. Anybody got any questions? You can either unmute and ask, or I'll check the chat. We can rest for a sec, get some water. Anybody have questions before we get into it? Looks like everyone's good. No questions? Cool. Okay. Well, like I said, I call it first part running activation, or yeah, that's basically it. And then a torso activation is what we just did. All right. So now we're gonna do a little bit of strength. We're gonna do not super heavy leg strength today, primarily because I don't have any dumbbells here. Some of these exercises, you'll see if you have a dumbbell or a kettlebell at home, you can easily add that to make it a little bit tougher. But we are going to stay kind of focused on torso and posture stability, essentially. So not a lot of bending and twisting, but trying to keep the torso nice and straight. So we'll do a little bit of leg work, a little bit of upper body, and then coupled with core torso work. And we'll finish off with a kind of yoga mobility routine that's, again, I've just kind of short and condensed for runners, triathletes, kind of as like a few key simple exercises, okay? So first thing we're gonna do is lunges, okay? Earlier we did the forward lunge, so we're gonna go backward this time. Stand up a little bit closer to the front of your mat, and we're gonna combo some stability work with the lunge. So you're gonna do a lunge like this, and then you're gonna drive your knee up, kind of stand on one leg, and then we're gonna go 3 cycles where you go 1, 2, 3, pumping the leg kind of in a pawing motion to the ground, okay? And then hold it up. So now we have to use that hip flexor a little bit. All right, we're having to drive our leg down towards the ground and then drive that knee back up with our hip flexor, okay? So go ahead, we'll start, and what we're gonna do is 5 each side. We're gonna do a lunge, hip cycles, and then back to a lunge. And the whole time, the idea is that this leg, right now I'm using my right leg, that leg is never actually resting, except when it goes back into the lunge, okay? So we're gonna be standing on that left leg the whole time. That's where some of that stability comes in. This one is kind of hard to do with weights. You could possibly hold dumbbells, though I like using the running motion a little bit to practice how my arms are gonna look as I run, right? Keeping kind of that soft 90. If you get really good at it, you could do it standing on a Bosu ball or something. If you're on a pillow, an unstable surface. But for now, we're just gonna use the ground. That's hard enough. So starting here, lunge back, knee up, hold, and then we go 3 cycles. 1, 2, 3. We want these to be quick. You're just lightly touching, pawing the ground. So that was 1, and then we lunge back. Up, 1, 2, 3, 2. And then back, up, 1, 2, 3, 3, back. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, back. Up, 1, 2, 3, 5. And then relax. Okay. Now we'll do other side. Again, you can see my goal with that pawing motion is to get them pretty fast so that neurologically my brain can fire off those muscle fibers without any force, without any resistance, just to trigger them to activate really quickly. Okay, so now standing on the right leg, or whatever your opposite leg is, lunge back, drive the knee up, keep that pelvis tucked underneath you, so glute tight, and then 3 cycles, 1, 2, 3. That was 1, back, 1, 2, 3, 2, back, 1, 2, 3, 3, back, 1, 2, 3, 4, back, 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so 5 of those. Staying on single leg. We're going to do kind of like a single leg deadlift, but again, you can use weight. We're not going to use weight today. I'm going to put my arms back. I'm standing on my right leg again. I'm going to bend my knee slightly, and I'm just going to push my chest out. One of the things when you do single leg deadlifts is you want to try to make sure you're not twisting. So if I'm going here, I want to make sure I'm falling forward. Okay, got the wall behind me, so it's a little hard to do that. But the idea being, I don't want my hip to twist. I could go down farther if I roll my hip like that, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to kind of keep my arms back, almost like I'm jumping out of an airplane, to help me keep my chest pointed forwards, okay? And then this should fire off that hamstring a little bit. So I'm going to lean my chest out, hold, and then back. So you should feel hamstring down through the back of the leg. I find this has actually been useful when I've had plantar fasciitis because it's an eccentric load of that kind of calf to the Achilles and the plantar. It actually helps with that a little bit. Standing on this one leg. It also is good for back posture, right? So going out for number 2, back. Try to keep that sole of your foot flat against the ground. 3. You can see I'm not going super far down. Some of that's due to hamstring flexibility, which isn't ideal. That was 4. And then I'm going to go 5. Just like that. But I can definitely feel it all through my legs. So if I had weights or dumbbells, it would definitely be making me sore. I'm going to switch sides. All right, here. Lean forward. Again, we're trying to prevent that hip from twisting. And so if flexibility, you can only go so far because your hip flexors, your psoas is tight, that's fine. Just don't lean the chest out as far. You're better off not going down as far than having to twist your hip. 3, 4, 5, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to combo that with some push-ups, but push-ups plus 3 shoulder taps. You're going to go down, do a push-up, and then you're going to tap one, tap the other. Okay, and that's 1 push-up. We're just going to do 5. We're trying to keep perfect posture, not just on the push-up, but on the shoulder tap. So what we don't want is we don't want to tap like this, right? Just twisting my whole body. I want to try to keep the hip down and flat while I do the tap, okay? So go ahead in the plank position. We'll go down 1, tap, tap, down 2, tap, tap. We're going 5. Down 3, tap, tap. Down 4, tap, tap. And down 5, tap, tap. A few things you can do on rolls to help. One, if you spread your feet a little wider, it will make it a little bit easier. So as you get better, you might try bringing knees in just a little bit. You can also play with, as you get a little stronger, you can try to tap and hold for a second or 2 seconds, similar to that opposite arm leg we did. Or if right now all you can do is a quick tap, that's fine too. All right, so that was round 1. We're gonna do 3 rounds of that. Grab some water real quick. Any questions on those exercises before we go doing subsequent rounds? I don't see any comments. We'll take kind of like 30 seconds, a minute break like this between rounds. Cool. All right, I'm gonna keep going then. I'll keep an eye on the chat if anyone's got more questions. So we're going back to the lunge with hip cycles. I'm a little weird that I'm always afraid of getting asymmetrical, so our bodies are asymmetrical. I kind of alternate which sides I'll start on. If you notice, most of you are probably better or more stable on one side than the other. So even the shoulders taps, I'll switch which arm I tap with first, things like that. That might be too much to think about, but if you kind of want to make sure you're activating both sides equally with fatigue and things like that, you can play with, let me start on my left side versus my right this time, that kind of thing. Similar to like bilateral breathing when swimming. If you do an exercise on one leg first, then when you go to the next leg, you might already be slightly tired. So try starting on the fresh leg this time and then switching to the other leg. It's something worth playing around with. Okay, so we're lunging back. Lunge, drive the knee up. 3 cycles, 2, 3. That was 1. Back, up. 2, back, up. 3. Really think about that posture you want to have while you're running too. You know, the idea is this is kind of that running posture that we have, that side forward lean. I believe that was 4, up, and there's 5. Okay, switch sides. Down one leg, we go back, using our arms, 2, 3, 1. We don't want our arms to go straight. 2, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. 5 levels, take a quick breather. We'll do the falling forward. Stand on one leg, arms back. Slight bend in the knees, probably good. Lean out forward, and then slowly go back. One of the ideas with this is also control. So we want to control the motion at all times. You might also notice as you get warmed up, you get deeper into the exercise, that you can go down a little farther, where your balance is a little bit better. There's 3. 4. Again, even as I'm leaning forward, I'm trying to hinge at the hip so I keep my shoulder back, keep my head up a little bit. And 5. Switch sides. Now forward, back. Back. 3. 4. And 5. Cool. And then shoulder taps. Remember, we're doing 5 push-ups in that firm position. I don't remember what side I tapped with first. So I'm going to go down, up, 1, 2, down, up, 3, 4, down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2 rounds. We got one more round. Grab some water. We'll take 30 seconds. Alrighty, so we're going back to the lunges again, hip cycles. This is good practice for the running motion. So again, think about pumping those elbows back like you would when you're running, okay? So we're gonna stand on one leg, lunge back, and then up. 1, 2, 3. That was 1. Up. 2. 3. 4. 5. One thing you'll notice a lot of times after the lunge, I pause when I get back up, and that's just to make sure I'm balanced. I want to make sure the exercise is controlled and that I do have stability on that one thing. Okay, switching sides. Up. 1, 2. Back. Up. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, falling forward. Standing on one leg. Foot flat on the ground, hips square, arms and shoulders back. Lean out. Try to kind of push those hips back. Feel the pull in the hamstring. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, switching sides. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. Down and shoulder taps. Great position. Down, up, tap. Remember, you can spread your feet a little wider if you need. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. All right, take a breather. While you take a breather, might as well do a little stretching. So point your feet back behind you. Sit back on your ankles for a second. Just stretch out your ankles, your shins. One thing we see a lot of cyclists and runners when they try to swim in triathlon is that they have pretty inflexible ankles. So the foot can actually create a lot of drag. So if you're doing a simple stretch like this, you should feel it along your shins right here. It can be really good just promoting some ankle flexibility. And then if you have problems on the bottoms of your feet, we can change up the stretch. Curl your toes under, and then sit back like that. So if you're a triathlete, you're probably tight and flexible on both sides somehow. Since we do it all. And then we'll switch. Switch again. And then forward. Curl the toes under. All right, so next sequence we're going to do still a little bit upper body and a little bit more core. And we're going to do kind of a flow. You might have done it in yoga. We did yoga in college. I hated yoga in college. The coach called it power yoga, and it was the worst thing ever after cross country practice, 2 hour power yoga. But here I am. We're doing it now. So basically, what we call these star push-ups. You're going to do a push-up. And then you're gonna rotate to the side, go up, and then to the other side, like that. And then back to center. Similar to what we did with that torso activation at the beginning. Difference is, one, I'm keeping my hand on the ground, not my elbow. And we want a pretty straight line down to the wrist. If this hurts your wrist, you can go down to the elbow then. I would do that. The second thing is, if you can, stack your legs. If you need to, as you do the star push-up, put one leg out in front or just go to here. That's fine. You're still engaging the obliques and those muscles along the side. So that's fine, just like that. And if you need to do the push-up on your knee and do the star push-up kind of just like this on the side, that's fine as well. So again, there's kind of a few different ways to adjust it. On the last star push-up, we're going to finish side to side. We're going to go back, and then we're going to slowly lower down in the push-up position for a 10 count. So just follow along with that, and I'll count us down where we just slowly lower in the push-up position. Okay, and we'll do a few other core exercises. So starting with 5 star push-ups, we're going to go down and up. That's 1. Turn to the side. Then we're going to turn to the other side. Back to middle. Now we're going to do a second push-up. Down and up. Turn to the side. Turn to the other side. Back to middle. Finish 2. Down and up. There's 3. Side. Side. Back to middle. Down and up. There's 4. Side. Side. Back to middle. Down and up. Side. Side. And then we're going to go to center and slowly lower down like 10 count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Oh, man. Maples in college. Okay, now most of you are probably done. We're going to do flutter kicks. We're going to go 20-second flutter kicks and then a 20-second hold. On the flutter kicks, one, if your hamstrings are too tight and you need to bend your knees, that's okay. One thing we want to think about is keeping that back pretty flat against the ground. You don't want your back to be arched. So you shouldn't be able to fit anything underneath the small of your back. If it helps to put like a towel or something, I use my hands underneath my butt, and then I can kind of just lift the hips up just enough, and then I can press my back into the ground. So we're gonna go 20-second flutter kick straight into a 20-second hold. Okay, starting in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna keep the legs pretty straight, point the toes just a little bit. Ten seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and hold. So hold for 20 seconds. Keep that small back pressed against the mat. Hopefully no one can see my abs, my core shaking right now. Three, 2, 1, and time. Okay. Last thing we're going to do with the core on the first round, that's just round 1, some heel taps. Same idea, you're going to lay on your back, just like this. We're keeping the back flat, head against the mat. You're going to have your knees bent at a 90-degree angle. You're going to keep that 90-degree angle, and you're going to tap your heels gently on the ground. As you do that, you're going to try to keep your back from arching. We're just doing 5 of these because the goal of the heel tap is 100% control. So you should be trying to activate and engage all those little muscles. Actively try to push your low back right here against the mat. So we're going to go nice and slow. I like bringing my arms up overhead. It makes it just a tiny bit more difficult. You're going to tap. I can even feel it in my shoulder blades some as your back tries to activate to prevent that arch. Tap for 3. Again, really the slower you do these, the better. 4, and 5. Okay, just 5 heel taps is plenty. All right, take a break. So that's kind of our core with a little bit of upper body routine we're gonna do. We're gonna do 2 more rounds of that after some water. I had a question about sending the workouts. One, I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe USAT is recording these. Someone said that earlier. I don't actually know that. But also, I'll have my email at the end, and I'm happy if anyone wants to email me. I'm happy to send it to you for sure. Like I said, these are kind of broken up into a few different routines that you can, okay, I'm going to do that 10-minute routine now or that 5-minute activation here. So I'll share my email at the end, and if anyone wants, to message me, that's fine. And then I think hopefully USAT is recording it, and we can send it to y'all. All right, back to start push-ups. So we're gonna do 2 more rounds. Starting in this plank position, hands on the ground, arms beneath your shoulders, keeping the elbows in fairly tight. Push up, rotate to the side. That completes 1, back to center. 2, again, we're trying to keep that torso really straight the whole time. The 3rd push-up. To center. 4, here's the 5th push-up. Rotate, rotate, and then now the slow one, the 10 count. Going down slowly, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Roll along the back. I had a question about, actually I can probably post it in the chat, but I also have a slide I'll share with my email, so you can write it down if you want to send me a message after this, you're welcome to. We'll have, the goal of this routine, we should be done in 45, 50 minutes, and then I'll have some time for questions at the end, things like that, or if people need to get going, shower off, whatever. Okay, so we're on footer kicks. 35 seconds here, 3, 2, 1, 20 seconds. Should have tapered for today. These are, it always sounds good when you write it out as a coach, and when you have to do it, you realize it's pretty difficult. Okay, and hold for 20 seconds. Ten seconds. And down. Okay, heel taps. Again, I like to bring my arms up. Keep the shoulders open, palms facing up. Just having some weight kind of transfer above the shoulder makes it a little more difficult. And these are nice and slow and controlled. 1 tap. 2. Just doing 5. And we'll keep that low back against the mat. 3, 4, and 5. All right, 1 more drink of water. 1 more round. After this, we'll do a little yoga flow routine to stretch out. One of the things I like about doing push-ups, I don't do a lot of push-ups, but even just like you've seen with some of the activation stuff, we're using push-up in there just to, 1, warm up the body, and just, when you do a push-up, it's a plank. So it's a good chance just to work on, again, keeping that torso nice and straight. You don't need to have to rep out 80 push-ups in a minute or anything like that, but just doing 5 push-ups every day can be super beneficial. So something to think about when you're doing some core exercise routine. Just do 5 push-ups, do a shoulder tap, something like that, just to make sure that spine is nice and straight, nice and flat. I've had a lot of back problems when I've been racing, and last year I really committed to doing some of this stuff more regularly, and I actually did less strength training total than I had in previous years, but I did it more frequently. So instead of doing 2 or 1 long lifting session per week, I did 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes a day, 4 or 5 days a week. And just having that consistency there actually made a bigger difference than 1 super big, heavy lift session. So something to think about there. I do not do shoulder or star push-ups that often though. Okay, 5 more star push-ups, last set of these in that plank. Down, up, rotate. You can also lift your leg up if you want it even harder. If this is too easy for you, you can do a little leg lift. Back to center. 2. I'm going to stay right here, but you can add the leg lift if you'd like. That was 2. And then we'll go 3. 4. Rotate. Rotate. 5. Rotate. Rotate. And then lower for the 6 count. Or 10 count on number 6. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Flutter kicks. Starting in 8 seconds. 20 seconds flutter kicks. Ready, go. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Three, 2, 1, and relax. Oh, those are hard. All right, arms back, heel taps. Back nice and flat. This is all postural. Slowly down, tap 1. Slowly down, tap 2. Slowly down, tap 3. Slowly down, tap 4. Slowly down, tap 5. All right, in time. Cool, now the stretching. Stretching and cool down. A little bit of mobility work. I actually don't use the term stretching that much. More mobility. We want mobility in specific places, but not in others for athletes. So we're going to start just going back to a lunge. We got my right knee on the ground, left foot back. Trying to make 90-degree angles. What I'm actually going to do is just tighten up my glute and try to push my hips under. So just doing that, instead of having my back arch, kind of tuck that pelvis underneath. If you do that correctly, you should feel it either in your hip flexor or in that kind of large rectus femoris. It's also the flexor muscle, the quadricep. It's kind of the grouping of the 4 muscles. If you want, you can reach back and grab that foot. And then if you want, you can put another arm up in the air. If you can balance. Again, keep that left glute kind of tightened up, so it keeps your hips tucked underneath you. Just hold a little longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, keeping that leg forward. We're gonna go up and do a high lunge. Push that left heel down. We're gonna turn it out to the side, but keep the hips pointed forward. This is kind of your classic yoga routine. Arms up in the air. This is gonna be your warrior 1. Turn to the side just like this, warrior 2. Back leg is straight, that front right leg pushing forward. And then we're gonna straighten that front leg and then reach forward with our right arm. And then drop the right hand on the inside. And then bend that right leg again, hand on the inside. That left arm is up in the air. We're gonna bring it down and touch 5 times and reach up. 4, 5, just like that. Both hands on the ground, hands on either side of your leg now. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that knee again, okay? Now I'm gonna rock back slightly, just as far as I can. Get a little bit of a stretch through this leg. Most of us probably cannot straighten our leg. Okay, we're gonna rock back forward. We're gonna come back up, that back leg straight again. This is a little bit of a prayer sequence. You're gonna go hands together now. Now we're gonna turn the other way. So right leg is still forward, but we're gonna turn so that our left arm is now on the outside of that right knee. We're gonna stack it. So now we're stretching, instead of the adductors, the muscles on the inside, we're stretching our AB, our abductor muscles on the outside. If you can lower that leg, that kind of helps too. And push on it. This is good for the IT band as well. And reach that arm up in the air. Right arm. Sometimes just to play around with the stretch a little bit, I'll do a couple kind of rocking motions here, but being very careful. And then go ahead and lower that leg. And then we're gonna switch sides. Before we switch sides, actually, we'll just do a basic downward facing dog. Alternate dropping from one heel and then the other. So you can get a little bit of a calf stretch. You can stretch your calf, that larger gastroc muscle with the leg straight, or if you want to bend your knee a little bit, you can put your leg at the top of it. It stretches a little bit more of the soleus and the Achilles. So, which often we think of both of those as our calf, and they both do similar things, but we can just change the knee angle to change the way the stretch is. And then alternate. I'll just kind of alternate bend and stretch like that. Let's go ahead and swing it through a cobra. I have my toes pointed behind me. Try to lift the hips up just a little bit. Stretch out the torso, especially after those flutter kicks. And then we're going to dive back. So now we're switching left leg forward. Knee is on the ground, toes pointed back behind you. Again, we're going to tighten up the right glute, right butt cheek. Stay up nice and tall. My right hip flexor is always a little bit tighter. So if you can reach back and grab your knee, do that. Try not to let your back arch though. And then if you want to reach your arm up in the air, you can do that. You just feel a little more stretch. All right, go ahead and lower that leg. We're going to push up now, back leg straight, and turn it to the side. Front leg or left leg is bent. We're going into our warrior 1. I'll be facing the camera for warrior 1 this time. So we're trying to keep that back leg straight, then we're going into warrior 2. We're pushing that front leg forward a little bit more. So you should feel some stretch down here. Remember, in warrior one, typically the hips are square, are pointed forward, and then warrior two, we go ahead and open it up a little bit. Then I'm going to straighten that front leg, reach my left arm forward, just like that, and then drop it down. Right arm's up, palm facing away, keeping the shoulder and chest open. And then I'm going to bend that left leg, keeping my palm on the inside. I'm going to do 5 taps. Right arm down, up, down, up. 3, 4, 5. Push on my knee a little bit. Try to open up these adductors just a little bit more. Spin back to center. Dropping the right knee, hands on either side. Go ahead and rock the hips backwards slightly. You can lift your toes up if you can. Again, it depends on how flexible you are. Most of us are not super flexible in the hamstrings. That's not necessarily a bad thing. There's actually some good research on that having some tightness in your hamstrings can help fast running. Okay, we're coming back to that high lunge position. This is that prayer sequence. So we're spinning the opposite way, putting the hands on the inside on my right elbow. It's going to go on the outside of my left knee. Okay, so I'm pushing on that left knee. If I can, I'm going to drop that hand down on the outside just to brace the knee. The left hand is going up in the air. Push on it, stretch that hip, that IT band. Like I said, sometimes I do a little bit of gentle bending with the knee just to change the location of the stretch. And then down, relax the knee. Let's do the foot stretch one more time. We'll point our shin behind us. Toes pointed back. So this is the last stretch. We're pretty much done, wrapped up. Like I said, I'll stay on for 5 or 10 minutes here. If anyone wants to ask questions, I'm gonna share. I think you all should be able to see this. Go ahead, curl your toes under. Sit back on your heels. My computer may not be working. Oh, there we go. So that's my info. Should be coming up here in a sec. If you want to shoot me an email and you want me to remind you what the routine is, I know it's a lot to kind of keep track of. But again, the idea is that we kind of have multiple pieces. We can pick or choose what we use, where we use them. And it's not loading, but yeah, feel free to reach out. My name is Mark Saroni again. If you want to email me at mark@paragontraining.org, I'll be happy to answer any questions. And I'll stay on a little longer with the chat up. So thank you all for coming. And good luck with the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy.